Can you guys say something so I can make sure my audio is good?
Yeah, I can say whatever you need.
Thanks. We're up. Can you guys say something so I can make sure my audio's good?
Oh, man. Okay.
Cam, do you have the YouTube up? Come on, man.
Really confusing. I was like, why are you saying the same thing?
Yeah. I've done that
Just
to myself
double
before.
Make sure. Double check.
I came back from Brandy's actually been watching y'all's streams this week, not mine, because they just, my Xbox remote is dying, so I've been clicking on, like, the first Fyrestorm video that comes up, just to make sure it gets in there.
That's so cute.
But, yeah, she actually watched, Cam, your stream on Friday. Brandy saw that. I missed it, but Brandy watched, like, the whole thing.
Good.
Watch the end of
I
it.
got to tune into different parts of it because I kept pulling my phone out. But yeah, we got back and Brandy caught me up on it.
You guys alternated between what you watched, which was funny because Peter, you saw like the beginning of the E4, and Sirmina, you saw the end of the E4 and Iris. So,
Yep. Iris!
Yeah.
Where's Iris? She was the champion.
Yeah.
So, since we're live, I wanted to walk through what we're doing this week. First of all, we're having mercy for Peter, who again didn't make an update chart. Second of all,
That's okay.
second of all, we're not yet doing our mid VPP tier lists.
Yeah, I haven't thought about that. I'm not going to be 100% like
Yeah,
lying to you or anything. So.
we got this. We got this. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it sometime in July, but we don't have it free yet. I also want to give everybody something good and not shitty, and that'll take a little bit of time to pull together. So I don't know. I thought about texting you guys today and being like, "Quick, last minute, do this thing," and I was like, "No, let's do it right." So, for anyone watching, what we're probably going to do today is look at a little bit of the end of the Gen 5 games, Black 2, White 2. Since Cam finished Black 2 this week,
Finally.
Yay! Cheers.
we'll talk a little bit about Black 2 and White 2. I want to talk a little bit about why, because Sirmina, you're at sort of a really fun point in the game. And then I have some thoughts on sort of the opening of Ultra Sun and this whole Gen 7 thing. But we'll save those for later. I want to turn the floor over to you guys, Black 2, White 2 players. How does this game end?
And you're the most recent exposed to it.
It ends with a sprint to the finish on the plot, followed by the same E4 as Black and White, and then a new champ that was easier, I feel like, than some of the other champions that I'm used to.
Mm-hmm.
So, I saw...
Cynthia... Sorry.
No, I don't... So, when you say a new champ, because I tuned in at, the very end, I think, and I saw Getsis. Or maybe that was earlier?
Getsis was earlier.
Got it. Okay, never mind. I tuned in not at the very end. So, Getsis is now before all that stuff.
Yeah, so the way that the plot worked is that you beat Drayden as the 7th gen.
Okay.
And then Plasma shows up and shoots ice beams at the entire area, the world. They're like, we've harnessed the power of Kyurem. And then there's a whole lot of you have to go to the 8th gym, beat the 8th gym, and then you can board their flying pirate ship. And then there's a teleporter challenge.
What's the 8th gem in Black 2?
Ice.
Okay. This is
water.
that one where you do
Water.
Water.
The
Oh.
lily pads. It's
The lily
so
pads
cute.
that float back and forth, and you have to make the path all the way across.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
It's
new.
kind of fun.
It's a great
I
puzzle.
totally missed that. Damn.
I kept thinking ice because the world was ice.
Well, I think
But
it
then
is an ice gem in...
Then
in-
6 is the last one. Is ice.
And in
Oh,
black.
you right. And in
Black
black.
and white.
And white.
Ice gem.
Because I remember it being that one where you, hit the things that spin you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the water gem was more exciting than the ice gem. And Drayden really upped his game with the dragon so that you're no longer going, like, just in circles on a path. It's like, oh, I'm fighting... It was like a mix of Norman's gym and Drayden's, in that you had to choose which path to take first to get to. Yeah.
Okay.
So that was interesting. But then you board the pirate ship and you're fighting, and then you finally get to the giant chasm, and you go all the way down, and Getsus is in there with Kiram, and he does some weird stuff to Kiram, and N shows up with Zekrom just at the right time to allow Getsus to steal Zekrom, pretty much.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
And then you fight the fused Kiram Zekrom and win, because you can't catch it.
Oh, you can't?
I don't think you could catch... No, you can't. I tried throwing
You're not allowed to.
Yeah, because it's an
Getsus'
abomination.
Staff. And also Getsus' staff, like, they had this whole explanation that was like, yeah, I have a very particular power coming from my staff that makes all Pokeballs useless, as it should be, or something like that.
That was part of the plot? I didn't get that part.
It was like a 2-second line.
We did talk about the staff at the end, because I remember putting in the chat, like, you can't pick up the... Like, it makes sense that you can't pick up the staff, because it's like a weapon of evil.
Mm-hmm. It's a whole thing with his staff.
I was being very dramatic that night.
It was very... Well, I mean, N shows up, which is great, because this whole time you've been hearing about the heroes that just, like, disappeared. And then N shows up, and he's like... He heals your Pokemon again by doing the whole, like, Fred! And then your Pokemon are healed.
Yeah.
And then you fight Getsus, and I think he has a very similar Pokemon set.
I think so.
And it's a little bit more intense, I guess, than the end of Black and White.
The music was
because
less
one, the
shady.
music was better,
Yep.
and two, that wasn't the last thing that you did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, from what I caught of that stream, I thought it made a lot more sense. Especially since it now fits more with the traditional Pokemon rhythm of, like, you do all this story stuff, but then the ultimate thing is, like, Pokemon League.
Yeah, because then it was Victory Road, which I kind of, like, sprinted through.
Yeah, you must have gone through fast.
I think I went through Victory Road in about an hour.
It couldn't be me, I always
That's
get lost.
quick.
Yeah. And then got to the E4, and that was... The E4 and the champion, I think, was like 40 minutes to an hour. Maybe.
Around there.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Who's the champion?
Iris.
Who?
Drayden's
Oh.
Granddaughter?
Yeah, I think granddaughter.
Okay.
And she was... kind
She's
of a
in his
pushover.
gym in Black and White, right? She's just not the leader.
She follows him around.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she was kind of easy. Like, thinking back to previous champions that we've battled, like Gary in Gen 1, Cynthia in Gen 4, and just like how rough those could be. This was like,
Wally in Gen 3.
I have 4 Pokemon
Steven.
fainted, but I'm fine. Like there was no worry there. And I tried to get this point across at the end of the stream, and I don't think I did a really good job, that like Black and Black 2, if you look at it as one game, is really satisfying.
Interesting.
Because the plot line of Plasma and like N coming back 2 years later to like finish the job with Getsus and like take him away and do all of that stuff instead of just like, I'm gonna go explore the world, okay, bye. Getsus is free and off to do whatevs.
Right.
And then you get this conclusion to the plot, and like all the plot happens between Gym 7 and Victory Road, pretty much. I thought that overall, Black 2 as one game plotline was good. Split, that was not finished.
So that would be almost impossible to do with a single game because of the time break, right? But
And 16 gems.
well, yeah.
Technically, yeah.
But
Well, it'd be like playing
And a
Gen
map
2.
change.
And a map change.
and a map change, right? Because you go to that other side.
It'd be exactly like playing Gen 2 and beating Johto, and then going back to Kanto.
But in Kanto, and like you guys have been seeing this, but the Kanto that you get to go back to in Gen 2 is very simplified.
Yeah, it was pretty.
Like,
it's pretty much just 8 gym leaders, right?
It is still the 8 gym leaders. It's still the exact same Kanto map, but there's a lot of things that are like shorter or quicker or simplified because they just can't fit like the structure of 2 entire games in one.
Yeah.
I feel like I think the gameplay for going to Kanto and Gen 2 is much, much faster than the entirety of like Gen 2 in Johto.
Other than the trip from Johto to Kanto, which takes fucking forever. Jesus.
Not expecting it to be that long.
No.
Yeah, no, like getting through the giant chasm back to Victory Road and then up the other side of the mountain of Victory Road because of all of, like the tunnels and the landslides and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is fine. Like, there was one part that needed flash, and I stumbled my way through it.
I just taught somebody Flash knowing that like TMs could be relearned and then just got rid of it after VR. It was very nice having Flash as a TM, like after like Gen 3 onward, or Gen 4 onward, I think.
Yeah, really nice.
All
That's
of the walls.
big quality of life. Anytime they move an HM to a TM. I mean...
Rock
And,
Smash,
yeah, Rock Smash. Rock Climb.
Rock Climb.
Waterfall? I don't remember. No, Waterfall is still an HM because I think that N gives it to you right before Victory Road or something. And he's like, there's some parts that you can't access without Waterfall. And I'm like, then I guess I'm not going to those parts.
Right.
What about Gen 6? Is it an TM or an HM?
It's an HM.
HM still? Okay.
Yeah, because I had to teach Lapras Waterfall right at the end.
Wow.
Surf and Waterfall I needed to get to
Yeah.
E4.
Oh boy.
Just a heads up. It's actually, I actually thought, it's kind of I think if I remember correctly, Gen 6 is the dying breath of HMs. And good God, it's frustrating. You made it through the whole fucking game basically without needing any of them. Mm-hmm. And suddenly it's like, oh yeah, surf across these 3 tiles of water. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, that's such a... I don't know. That I was definitely like, yeah, there's a reason that... I don't know if Gen 7 actually removes them, but certainly by Gen 8 they're gone. And there's a reason that happened. It was a good decision.
Gen 7, they're gone. I mean, technically both Moon and Sun and Ultra Moon and Ultra Sun are all together Gen 7.
Yes. I just can't remember. I was trying to remember if I had HMs in Ultra Sun, and I couldn't. And that's a quirk that I'll explain in a little while. But I also, by the way, I tested out that... You know, I told you guys I got that copy of Let's Go Eevee on eBay. Mm-hmm. So I tested that one out, and they've restructured how HMs work in this is a Pokemon Yellow remake. And actually, HMs you teach all to your Eevee. But it doesn't take up move spots.
Oh.
That's weird.
They're relabeled, they're like secret techniques or something. So like once you learn the secret technique, chop down, your Eevee can chop down trees.
Chop down.
Chop down.
Not cut, it's chopped.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're gonna still retain things like Surf and Strength, or if Strength is gonna just be like push, and then Surf is gonna be like swim.
I actually think the word cut they may have flagged, because I'm pretty sure Flash is the same. I don't know.
Interesting.
Has some connotations that I could see. Maybe we'd pull this from our game, but chop down does make more sense when you're talking about a tree. You don't really cut a tree; you chop a tree down. So
were they all trees or were they bushes?
They were trees in Gen 1, I think, because they had
little Y-shaped things.
Yeah, but they had distinct wood to them, right?
You cut down a tree.
Well, Yeah, but you do it with an axe. I don't know.
You still cut it down.
You still chop it with an axe. You still cut it with an axe.
Yeah, they're kind of interchangeable.
Are they worried that, like, saying the words cut and flash are going to influence people to do things relating to cutting and flashing?
Well, I think they still say the word flash, which is what's kind of interesting to me, because you'd think if cut were enough to flag it, then flash, I would also.
Yeah.
Who knows?
That's interesting.
I'm intently watching what Brandy is doing.
Speaking of flagged, our YouTube channel now flagged.
What?
No. Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
No, we're good.
Just funny.
So
Because of Twitter talk.
the end of it really sounds like a cool restructuring. The end of Black White to Black 2 White 2. Mm-hmm. And do you think those games essentially function as like the third game of Black White?
No.
No?
No. I think that it was better. I think it would have been better as one plot line, and playing them separately, you lose a lot of continuity, I guess. Like, if I had just played Black and gotten to the end, and like this was my feeling after beating Black, I was like, well, I guess, okay, it's done. It wasn't. I didn't feel like a sense of accomplishment, really.
Right,
It was
kind of just ends.
And then beating Black 2, because all of the plot was pushed into the last, like, 30 minutes of, like, pre-E4 stuff.
Gen 6 problems.
Yeah. Like, it was cool to be kind of like an outsider for that whole thing. Of, like, I don't know who either of these people are, really. Like, as my character, and they're like fighting and like yelling about things that happened like years ago. What's going on? And then the end's like, I got this, and just like gets us away, and you're like, what just happened? Like, that payoff was so much better because I played Black.
Gotcha.
But if I had just played Black 2, I would have been like, who
Who
are
is
they?
this
Like, why do we care?
What was the plot? Like, I need more details about it. Like, how are these two related? Like, why do they have such a deep hatred for one another? And
So it's
how did
not.
this end up with a legendary?
And like, why are people talking about like two heroes and like, you remind me of like one of the heroes? Like,
But we only see one of them.
Yeah.
So it's not like Emerald, where they're kind of like, oh, we'll bring these two great stories together. It's more like,
Right.
oh yeah, if you played the other game, you know about this awesome backstory, and this game will really be fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, I'm glad that I played Black and Black 2 together, because it made it better. They're still not my favorites.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't think that would count Black 2 White 2 as like the third. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I was just curious, because it's kind of a big shift, especially after gens like 3 and 4, where the third game is so good. Like, coming from the other two.
Interested to see if the same thing will hold up for you, Sirmina, with Moon and Ultramoon.
We'll have to see about that.
Because yeah.
I don't know how Sun and Moon end. And yeah, I actually never finished
Got
Sun.
it.
I have Sun. I've
See-
played Sun. I got really far in Sun. I think my Pokemon got to like level like 40, 45-ish. And I just haven't finished it yet. Just because it's like, you know, I bought it like 2 years ago and then picked it up for a little bit, put it down for a little bit, back and forth. So I don't already have like an idea of like what the ending's gonna look like either. And it'll be fresh.
Cool.
I hope that it's.
And I have no idea what the Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon plots look like either.
I hope that the plots are cohesive and aligned, and that each game is great as a standalone.
They should be. They probably learned from their, I wouldn't say mistakes, but from the things that were to be desired from doing Black and Black 2 and White 2. Peter's got some eyes going.
Let's talk about Pokemon Y. So, you had the 7th gym, right?
Yes.
So this is
It's a psychic gym.
It's the psychic gym.
That one had a really cool design structure, I gotta say.
Can you
It's
remind me?
Sphere room, the spherical room, and technically you're walking along like the edges of it and transporting to different parts of the sphere and walking along the edge and walking. And it's not only a spherical room with like the outer edge, but it's like concentric spheres basically. So you're walking at different depths of the sphere of the room. You step into the center portal, and then all the walls around you just go away, and now you're suddenly in this spherical room where all these people are waiting for you.
Yep.
Step on the portal again, and then it goes back. But it was a very cool design. But the thing about it is, it was just walking. It's not a puzzle. It's just walk.
Okay.
Walk.
Because my follow-up question was going to be, is it a puzzle, yes or no?
It's not a puzzle. It's just a walk. All of these gyms have been super cool design. I really like the way they do it, but it's just walk through and that's it.
Yeah. So
the spider gym in the first gym, the spider webs and the teardrops was really, really cool. The second gym, the rock climbing gym, super cool design. It's also a 3D aspect. Like, all of them have been like that, but it's literally just, you just need to go either as far up the vertical gym as possible, or just keep walking in a straight line and going towards all the little twists and turns and avoiding the dead ends. Very, very quick dead ends, not really too sophisticated dead ends. And just keep walking until you find the leader. That's it!
yeah.
It's like all of them.
I have figured out, I did some thinking this week. This is my little VPP vacation, because I had a couple days where I didn't have a game. And then I started Ultrasound on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought about why the lack of the puzzles in gyms getting easier and easier bothers me so much.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, there's a time where I really like a lack of puzzles. And it's when I'm walking around the goddamn map. So, I thought back to Gen 2. I was thinking about ice puzzles. And I thought back to Gen 2. And I thought of that fucking ice path that I hated so much. Right?
Before the 8th gym.
And I was like, okay, why did I hate that? And then why do I like these ice puzzles? And I think to me, it's because I'm like, okay, the activity I'm supposed to be doing right now is not like challenging, hard, whatever. I'm literally walking to the next town. Like, I don't want to be mentally taxed walking to the next town. That's so disheartening. And like, I feel the same way about Rock Tunnel or whichever one it is in Gen 1. I'm like...
No, Seafoam. Rock Tunnel, you just walk.
It's which one?
Seafoam had the boulders. Seafoam Islands had the boulders.
Seafoam has the boulders, but it's one of the tunnels.
No, I know which tunnel you're talking about. It's right before you get to Lavender Town.
Is it
right?
Diglett Cave? Is it Diglett Tunnel?
No, it's the tunnel that's like super dark.
It is Rock Tunnel that is dark, but there's not like a puzzle to it. That one is just, you just walk.
But if you don't find the right ladders, if you get lost and you don't find the right ladders, you are going to spend a long time in Dark Tunnel.
No, it's Mount Moon. Mount Moon was the
Maybe
one where
it's
you
Mount
had like
Moon.
4 ladders in like the same floor, and you could access like a couple different ladders in the same floor.
In any case, Gen 1 beats... Gen 1 and to some degree Gen 2 beat you over the head with this idea that you suck at walking to the next town. Which is really disheartening. Like, it's really demoralizing. Whereas, when you walk into a gym, it's actually kind of fun when the game is like, alright, you made it all the way here. This is going to be hard. Like, I hoped you prepared for this, because this is going to be hard. So it's really a bummer when you walk in and it's like, hey, walk around this spider web. And you do that, and then you're done. I'm like, okay, thanks. What I really like about Gen 6 is that when you do go into the glittering cave, it's not impossible to find your way around. Like, they give you 2 choices at each turn. So it's like, okay, you're probably not going to get lost in here. You're going to make it through the glittering cave. You're going to be able to complete the walking puzzle, right?
Yeah.
But then, like, it's really frustrating to get to the gym, and they're like, oh, yeah, like, you're a moron. Let's give you the one where you have to walk around in circles. Like, I don't like that. I wish the game were like, okay, yeah, we're going to take it easy on you when you're doing just normal run-of-the-mill stuff, but when you actually enter one of these gyms, it should be hard. That's why I did like when you get to the fairy gym, and they're like, hey, fuck you, like, here's like a really hard puzzle where it's got all these... What did you say, Kim?
That's the 9 rooms that you have to teleport
It's
to?
the 9 rooms where you have to teleport around. And it's a Gen 1 callback, and the Gen 1 puzzle was hard, at least for me, and the Gen 6 puzzle is hard, at least for me. And it's not, like, immediately solvable. Like, you kind of can just walk around. Like, I mean, ultimately all we're ever doing in this game is walking around, right? But
I stick to a decision of I always go to the bottom right teleporter consistently in every room, and that got me to where I needed to go.
all right, fair enough. But
Now, if they wanted to, they could have definitely been like, you know, if you are one of those people that just says, I'm going to just only go to the top left one all the time, they very easily could have decided to make a loop
yeah,
with any of them to, like, thwart that, but they didn't. They definitely didn't.
so
Usually a blind luck.
oh yeah,
That
yeah.
would've been-
I had to do the friggin'.
Like,
I had to do the the puzzle for what's his name, the electric guy in Gen 1, but
Oh, Gen 1?
Yeah,
Oh,
Surge.
Lieutenant Surge.
Surge, yeah.
Surge.
I did his in Let's Go Eevee, and the whole time I'm just like, fuck you, Cam, fuck you, Cam.
very lucky.
Although they did make the Surge puzzle easier in Let's Go Eevee. Because
Boo.
the first
Boo.
switch is always under the same cam. So you don't have
That's-
to search for the first switch.
Honestly, that's stupid, and I hate it. I love the chaotic, random generation of which cam was going to be
They
first.
did make Cam's thing impossible. So the first switch can't spawn in a corner anymore. So
They
Fine.
ruined it.
they removed that. So there's always a 1 in 4 chance of getting it right. Which did actually, I think, take me 5 tries.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not how statistics work.
Well, it is and it isn't. So there's that.
It's okay.
Also, I was thinking of Rock Tunnel
Okay.
when you were going through all of that, and just how long it takes to walk through that.
Rock Tunnel's
It
the one
was-
where you get a limited circle, right? You can only see so far?
Rock Tunnel, there's not really a circle. The flash circle, doesn't introduce until Gen 3. Gen 1, it's just like pitch black. Gen 2, actual black, and the only thing you see is your sprite. Gen 3, you finally get the little circle.
Maybe I'm not thinking of Rock Tunnel. Anyway,
Granite Cave.
Where's
That's
Grant?
not familiar. That's Gen 3, Dewford Town, where you get the little circle.
oh, you're right.
No.
You're right.
Rock Tunnel just takes a long time.
Yeah,
I
it just
remember
takes
they
forever to
were
walk
like-
through.
Because that's also... Wait. Oh, yeah, because they kind of bring that mechanic back in... What's his name? The fighting gym.
Raleigh.
Yeah, Brawly.
Jerk.
Right. Gross, yeah.
I was going to say
That's
Punchy,
gross.
but that's not right.
Close enough. Add a Y to the end of a word that has to do with fighting. You're good.
Hitty.
So,
Kitty. Yeah, exactly.
where are you headed now that you've done... Are you pre-7th gym or post-7th gym?
Post.
So where are you headed now?
As soon as I walked out of the 7th gym, I got one of the Holocaster messages from Lysander, who is like, hey, BT dubs, this is a message to everybody. Fuck
Yeah.
you all if you're not Team Flare. I am the leader. I'm gonna do this crazy thing. And I was like, oh, well, that ruins the surprise. Cool, thanks for just telling people.
I know, right? He
And
didn't even take the
so-
courtesy of bringing you on a Ferris wheel first.
He didn't do anything like that. He just said, yep, here, it's me. You've actually been talking to me before, and surprise, I'm going to just destroy everything. Unless you're in Team Flare. You're cool. And I'll keep you. And it just goes, Well, now we gotta go find him. I wonder where he could be. We first met him in, Lumio City. We should probably try there. So I think I'm headed to Lumio City.
See, that's what... I actually had the same moment on stream where I was like, oh, he said Lumio City. I wonder if I have to go there now.
Probably means you have to go there.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't go east, I think. You can't keep going east. You have to go back to the city where you've gone. So it has to be that city.
But they're going to make you search for him when you get to the city, so...
Well...
Belongs to
fuck
search.
that. I hate that city, and having to search in that city is gonna suck. And I can hear the music of it right now, because I remember being like, this city is so hard to navigate. I hate this. And I'm not gonna like it.
If you follow the trail of breadcrumbs that I did, and you find the clue, then he is just a taxi ride away. So, I highly recommend thinking for a moment before you go gallivanting off to all corners of the city about where Lysander might be.
Wow, Lumio City looks awful.
It's a pain in the ass.
Chaos.
Also, the motion controls are the worst.
Yeah, they really annoyed me, and...
Who am I? Cam's. Yes.
Yep.
It's this bad. Oh, whoa, now we're on the YouTube page. Cam, go back.
Sorry.
Go back.
Oh. Forgot I was sharing screen.
So,
See what you were doing.
here's the problem, is that when you are walking, right and left arrows do one thing. And when you have stopped walking, the right and left arrows do a different thing.
It's so dumb.
Because I think they rotate you when you're not walking, but they move you side to side when you are walking. So you can't round a turn while walking forwards. You have to walk into the street, stop, turn left, and then go forwards.
Peter.
Yeah.
There's a cafe called Lysander's Cafe.
Oh, is there?
There's a fucking cafe called Lysander's Cafe.
Maybe you should start your search there.
Do I have to go? Do I have to just go to his fucking cafe and that's gonna be the answer?
Am I giving away spoilers here?
I think on your next stream you should start there and see.
My God.
The Jensen Plaza Lysander's Cafe. So,
all the cafes have names.
They
I just
do.
forget all of them because there's so many of them. Like, look at how many cafes symbols there are around the town. It's a billion.
Yeah.
There's like 3 per corner.
Also, there's 3 Poke Centers in the city.
Yes,
yeah, I've only seen 2, and I haven't gotten to the third
monstrous.
one. There's just so much.
I've only ever seen the one. I think I've paid something like $20,000 in cab fees around the city.
Oh my god.
It's ridiculous.
Okay.
The only way I know I'm wasting money is when I get the cab and he takes me to a new place and charges me the minimum fee, because then I know I didn't actually go anywhere.
Oh my
but I'm
god.
like, it's way too much trouble to actually figure out where I'm going. I mean, look at that map. It's insane.
So, like, each of them do have a name, and I remember, like, walking around and, like, being in different places, and I think you do actually go to Lysander's Cafe after beating the gym. Because I remember walking into a cafe where Lysander is, and where Sycamore are, and they're talking, and they're buddies, and it's a whole thing, and so I think that was the cafe that we actually already went into.
I think you've been to 2 cafes.
Plaza.
Because you go to the cafe originally where the movie star is.
Mm-hmm.
Way back. And then, you go to Lysander Cafe after you beat the gym.
So, it's... Wow, this is just common sense.
But
it's
going to be a really fun stream
to look at.
It's going to be a really fun stream because you get to do a lot of good plot stuff. And
oh boy.
I think you will see a Gen 1 connection in this next stream as well. In just sort of general I don't know. You'll have to tell me what you think. Either on stream or at our next update, whatever. But we'll have to check in on that because I think it's a strong connection.
This whole game has just been Gen 1 connection.
I mean,
Also-
yeah,
Oh my goodness.
in a lot of ways.
There's
A
been
lot of these names are French words. Is there a reason?
I don't know.
Oh, all of these are.
John.
Wait, they're all colors.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Magenta.
The plazas are colors, and the avenues are seasons.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
That's cute. I'll give them that.
Also, this is supposed to be Paris, right?
Yes,
Okay. Because it has the Eiffel Tower in the middle.
basically, yes.
Seriously.
Yeah, it does. The gym is the
Yeah.
Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
I'm
You
such.
go up like 6 floors in the gym. It's really kind of cool.
What I learned from Gen 6 is that if you go to Paris, don't expect to have power while you're there. Or, inexplicably, a power outage will knock out a city street, which makes even less sense.
Yeah, the generator was only, I guess, impacting like a handful of parts of the city, as opposed to more of the city or more of the region.
My bigger confusion is the generator goes out, so the guy's like, hold on, you can't walk down the street here.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I don't know.
Cobblestones don't work unless there's electricity coming in?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Also, it was very clearly established that, like, everybody knew that the power outage was coming from the plant, not, like, anywhere along the lines. So, I don't know. Whatever. I'm not too worried about it.
Team Flare was there, and so nobody could stop Team Flare.
Except for an 11-year-old.
Yes.
That's true for every.
Well,
Yes.
yeah, for now.
I do appreciate that in Gen 1 the power plant was an optional place where there was a entire legendary bird. But in
Yes.
Gen 6, it is a mandatory location to visit.
Three,
And there's
the
no
power,
much
legendary
simpler.
bird.
Much,
Gen
much
3, the power
simpler.
plant was optional, right?
There's a
Yes.
power plant in Gen 3?
There is.
Power plant. New Mauville, it's called.
Yeah.
I visited it for about like a 30-minute spiel.
Yeah. There was a TM in there that I wanted. I think it was Thunderbolt or Thunder.
Something like that, yeah.
Or whoever it is gives you the TM that you need afterwards.
Watson. Yes.
Watson.
I'm remembering the Ironworks in Gen 4, where you can go to get
Ironworks.
flamethrower?
Yes! Fuego Ironworks. They were really cool.
Fuego Ironworks, yes. Where you get flamethrower, of all things.
You have an Ironworks, you
Foreman
have a
who gives to
Windworks.
Oh yeah, there is an Ironworks and Windworks. The two elements.
The only two that matter.
Yeah.
What, iron and
Fire.
Iron and fire.
Oh, sorry, no. Iron and wind. Fire and wind.
Iron and wind. Iron and
Fire
bird.
and air.
iron,
Iron and bird.
armory.
Scrum. The iron bird type. Okay.
But anyway. That was that. There were some interesting plot points, and I still have no idea what Team Player's doing.
Keep an eye out. And keep your eyes up. For any tall people.
That tall guy that was like 10 feet and that showed up after the power plant, he was just like, oh, like a, I don't even know what he called it, like the Eternal Pokemon or the Legend Pokemon, I don't even know what.
Yeah, Cam, whenever Sirmina streams next, you should tune in and so you can see Tall Guy. It's
Maybe
worth
tomorrow.
it.
Tall guy. Saw Tall Guy in your streams.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He's honestly probably the pinnacle of graphics that I've seen on any Pokemon game so
He
far.
is definitely a pinnacle.
Yeah. I think it's amazing commitment, the fact that they were just like, we're going to have this guy that's too tall for the screen. And everyone on the team must have been like, I'm sorry, what? And they were just like, yeah, he's just not going to fit.
Well, they kind of do that for Pokemon Go with Alolan
Yes.
Executor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Still can't say it.
Speaking of Alolan Executor,
Look, that it's just off the screen.
I saw an Alolan Executor the other day playing Ultra Sun.
Talk Ultra Sun.
And it does look absurdly tall. And it goes off the screen.
You've seen this in Go, though?
I've seen it in Go.
Yeah.
But I'm pleased to see that it's not just like a Go thing, but it's also like, okay, in the original game, like it literally goes off the screen. Mm-hmm. It's a framing thing because he's at like this bonfire and he's standing in the background and you can see that like his head would be potentially on screen, but they had it tilted. Anyway. Can I talk Ultra Sun?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, Ultra Sun opens, you've actually moved there from Kanto.
Spoilers.
Well,
Okay.
opening minute of the game. It's modeled after Hawaii, just so you guys can get a feel for like where we are. Mm-hmm. You meet Hao. Hao is like your rival guy. His name is not Hop, although I've looked this up a little bit and a lot of people on the internet compare him to Hop. Also, you cannot name him.
Yep.
Just like in Gen 6, where I think you also cannot name your friends.
Yeah. You can't name your friends.
Right.
People no longer have rival.
You can't do that anymore.
Wait, but you can... I mean, Gen 5 didn't... Did Gen 5 have a rival?
No, it was
No.
It didn't, right?
Sharon. It was Sharon and Bianca.
There are
They're
no
not really
friends in Gen
rivals,
5.
Right?
No. Oh, no, there was a rival in Black 2 and White 2. I have to get my purloin back.
Oh, Hugh.
My sister's purloin.
Hugh.
Can
Yeah.
you name...
I named him Rival.
I love it. Anyway, apparently a lot of people compare Hao to Hop. It's been a pretty standard entry to the game. I'm really loving the Alolan forms of different Pokemon. I have an Alolan Meowth on my team. He's awesome. Mm-hmm. Actually, I think it's a she. She's a dark type. I have just been fake out and biting the bejesus out of anything that tries to cross me. My starter's cool. It's a dual type starter. Like
Bulbasaur.
Bulbasaur is not a dual type. Bulbasaur is a grass type.
It's pure grass? I thought it was
Yes.
grass.
I could have sworn it's grass poison.
Rowlet is grass flying. And
Bulbasaur is grass poison.
oh, okay, no, my bad. I mean,
Okay.
lesson number 1 of the VPP. Never listen to me. I always get it wrong. But Rowlet is a grass flying starter, even though, well, anyway. Apparently this is nothing new, since it's literally been happening since Gen 1, that you can get a dual type, even though the other two are single types. But, interestingly, it also, I looked at the evolutions, it will lose that flying type, which is rare. Pokemon don't usually do that, and gain a ghost type for its final evolution. Super cool.
That's gonna be so cool. Grass goes.
Decidueye, right?
What'd you say?
Decidueye?
Yeah.
I love how an owl turns into a tree.
Right?
Tree.
Deciduous trees, yeah.
Yeah.
Deciduous, but I didn't know that it was based on that.
I'm just hearing based on the name. I can't even recall what Decidueye looks like.
So the typing has been cool. The challenge has been even cooler. There is a... Before the first gym, at the trainer school, there is a teacher. The head teacher has the starter that counters yours and is at level 10. So, pre-first gym, you have to take on your counter at level 10, which was actually kind of a chore. I had to go grind a little bit to prepare for that. So that's actually how I got the Meowth. So anyway, that's been interesting. The challenge of the game has been interesting. What I do not like at all have been the goddamn cutscenes. If you take 2 steps forward at any location on the entire island in Ultra Sun, you will enter a cutscene. When that cutscene ends, more often than not, there will be 2 cutscenes that follow it. I wish I were kidding, but half of my stream the last time was literally just me saying, not another cutscene. Not another cutscene. It is so many. Like, an inhuman number of these things. And I'm like, I just want to play Pokemon. Like, let me do something. Because you can't do anything while the cutscene is happening. You just have to sit there. There's so many. Like, whoever gave the design team QuickTime events, I hate them. Or whatever those are.
Oh my god. Have you gotten to your first trial yet?
I have! And that's really cool. So, instead of gyms, I said gym earlier. I didn't really mean gym. Instead of gyms, you have trials. And I think, I don't know if these are all, I accidentally saw a spoiler earlier, and I think they don't all have this setup.
Spoiler.
But the first trial, I had to fight this captain in order to, like, get into the place. And then once I got to the place, I had to beat 3 funguses, or young gooses. And then I had to get to the back, and I had to fight a fungus. And it was really big. And it kept calling down young gooses on me. So, it's a little more intricate than some of the puzzles that you would typically find in the gym. Like, it's a little more involved in some ways, more Pokemon battle-y. But I found the fight outside to be a little easier.
You mean Young Goose turned into a Gumshoes?
Oh.
Or that there's a Gumshoes that was calling a bunch of Young Gooses?
You're right. What was I saying?
You're saying Fungoose.
Which is that goddamn thing from Gen...
Which is actually Fungus. And Amoongus.
Amoongus.
Fungus, Amoongus. And Young Goose and Gumshoes.
Alright, that was close.
It
Anyway.
does not look like a Gumshoe. Because I was imagining like a detective-looking kind of Pokemon, and it's just like this dude who has like a bowl cut kind of Pokemon.
Yeah, you're right.
A loser.
Yeah, it was Gumshoe? Is that what it was?
Gumshoes.
Gumshoes. Yeah. And you're also fighting off, well, there's a Team Skull, which we can talk about more. Actually, we will have to talk about Team Skull more. But I would like you guys to get to experience that firsthand, which I hope you do in Sun and Moon. Before we,
we will.
Hash that. Okay, good or bad,
I
depending
can tell you Team Skull exists in Sun and Moon.
Great, have fun with that. Yeah. We'll talk about it next time, because I want to actually talk about this, all of us knowing what the heck I'm talking about, but yes. By the way, Masaru's in the chat. He just said, cutscenes, lol, I was there. Lod. And yes, there's a lot. Like, he's on Twitch. But yeah. So, that's my thing so far. Like, I'm frustrated by the amount I've actually gotten to play the game, because I feel like it's a lot of sort of just, oh yeah, hey, like, let's walk you through this and this and this and this. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Your favorite railroad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is worse. This is like Clockwork Oranged. They like, with the eyelids, like, watch this now.
This is the last thing I would have been comparing this to.
No, this is.
It's not that brutal. I don't think
you don't
you're be that traumatized by it.
So you don't like Ultra Sun, is what I'm gathering.
I really want to. No, like, really. I really want to, because there's so much of it that's cool. Like, they're like, they did Gen 6, and they were like, we did French culture right. We put 20 cafes in one city. Like, bam. And this time they're like, we're going to keep up that level of commitment, and, like, we're going to have this island trial. And at first I was like, okay, that's dumb. Like, it's usually gym leaders. But then I was like, wait, this is actually kind of cool. And they have, like, I'm not going to say this pays nice homage to Hawaiian culture, because I really don't know that much about Hawaiian culture. Mm-hmm. But, like, it's clear that it paid attention to something. Because, like, there's spaces on the island that you're not allowed to go to unless you are participating in this certain event. Like, there's people that you have to kind of like pay respect to, and like nature has things that you have to pay respect to, and Team Skull is doing none of that, and we'll talk about that next time. But I really like the general feel of the game, and I wish that it would give me the freedom to explore it a little bit. And I have Rotom breathing down my neck like, hey man, the flag's over here, let's go. And then once I get to the flag, I'm like, well, I know I'm just going to get punished when I get there because I will receive one cutscene. So.
Yep. Like, Rotom, Kim, is your, like, Pokedex, Pokegear kind of equivalent.
He's the Pokedex.
Pain, dude. He's such a pain.
He's the Pokedex in Gen 8, too.
Yeah.
But they've clipped his wings a lot.
Oh.
Yeah.
Got it.
Like, in Gen 7, he asks you stuff, and you have to answer it.
Major.
He'll say stuff like, how you doing? And you have to answer. One last thing I'll say about Gen 7 that's kind of cool, and it went away in Gen 8 as far as I can tell, and I'm kind of glad it did, is this thing where you can clean your Pokemon and care for your Pokemon. So, if you're in a battle and say your Rowlet gets poisoned, at the end of the battle, if you click the right button at the right time, you can care for your Pokemon and you can actually wipe away the poison. And then they're not poisoned anymore.
Huh.
Yeah.
Poison, paralysis.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sure, cool. I don't have to, like, use an antidote, use a paralyze heal. But there's also a couple of other things that are just random. Like, if a Pokemon uses Water Pulse on your Pokemon, and you care for your Pokemon afterwards, you have to dry them off because they got wet.
Yep.
If you get a little dirt on them, you gotta brush off the dirt.
Rowlet gets fluff bunnies on him like nobody's business. I have been, like, combing that guy so much.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it does anything.
I don't know how to feel about this.
Now,
Yeah.
This is like polishing your gym badges, but
there is, like, a level of
Your Z crystals, Gen 7.
care.
Come on.
It is pretty interesting that they did that. There is, like, a significance to it. Ish. I have not figured out exactly what the threshold is for any of the things, like, as I, like, originally played through Sun. But if your Pokemon are, like, loving enough towards you, like, you've cared for them, you've fed them, like, beans or whatever.
Yeah. Do not throw the beans. Hold the beans.
Yeah, don't throw their beans. Feed the beans. Then they actually get a little bit of a boost to their experience gain.
Yeah.
So that's the avenue that it takes, is like, if you're caring, then, like, you'll get a boost in their experience gain.
did they also introduce that for Sword and Shield? Because I know that if your Pokemon are high enough friendship with you in that, then they pretty much have indoor all the time.
I know what you're talking about, and I can't remember when that was introduced.
Whenever it was introduced, somebody shot it full of steroids and put it in Let's Go Eevee. We can talk about that later down the road. But, oh my god. Pokemon in Let's Go Eevee, just whatever the hell happens to them, it doesn't happen. My Bulbasaur has been paralyzed like 10 times, and there'll just be a status update at the bottom of the screen. Bulbasaur, stop being paralyzed so you wouldn't get sad. And then he's not paralyzed anymore. What the fuck?
It's just like in real life. You can cure yourself of paralysis over time.
Yeah, exactly.
I looked up, what do Hawaiian people, or people from Hawaii, what do you think of Pokemon Sun and Moon? Native Hawaiian people, and people like, it seems like most people from Hawaii on the internet that answered this question are happy that they're like, hey, Hawaii's in a Pokemon game. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it would be hard.
Like, I think the game's pretty whitewashed. It's like, are they Japanese?
Right. It would be hard to I don't think anyone would really be like offended at the stuff that's in the game because it generally portrays like the like characters around you as kind and caring for the environment and like generally just kind of good things. I don't know. Like, I don't know how accurate it is. I guess that's the big question. But it doesn't seem unkind. Like, it's not trying to stereotype or caricature native Hawaiians. Maybe a little bit, actually, now that I think about it. But I don't think it's trying to do that in a way that's mean or offensive or otherwise.
It's doing a decent homage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Calling one another cousin, the use of
there's a lot of
malasadas as like the food.
Yeah.
Another example of cleverness was Oricorio's nectars, and the colors relate to the islands that you get them on.
Oh.
And that's a thing
Yep.
in Hawaii as well. And the thing that people hate the most about Sun and Moon, I didn't like how there was so much cutscene.
Yep.
Oh god.
Thank you.
I really disliked how hand-holdy it felt.
Yeah.
It was quite tedious with the cutscenes.
I didn't miss with this one.
Several toilsome cutscenes in between.
Earlier in this update, you said, don't ever listen to what you say, but I think we can listen to what you say.
This one is the one that I feel
point.
very confident about. I could not have gotten this wrong. There are too many goddamn cutscenes in this game. It's too many.
And you've only gone like a couple hours. And you're already saying there's too
It's
many.
been mostly cutscenes.
Worse.
Honestly, that's part of why I broke my stream up into 2 streams. It took me 2 streams to get the first gym. I was like, I can't.
Oof.
I need to put this down for a sec. Well, I wanted to do... The other problem is I wanted to do some, like, you know, go level my team and then work my way over to the next place, but I couldn't tell what was plot or not because everything's a cutscene.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And there's like a little lead-up animation whenever you encounter a wild Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
You practically have a cutscene every time you hit a Pokemon in the tall grass. Like, it's just a little more involved than what you've seen in previous generations because there's like a whole path thing. Anyway.
Posted something in the Gen 7 chat of the VPP.
I can't actually see right now because I got you guys full screen. What is it?
Oh, right. It's a Pokemon world in relationship to the real world, and you can look at Alola, and it maps out the specific regions in the Pokemon world and what island and region and location it actually maps to on Hawaii.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet. I've already been told that I'm not spending a ton of time on the first island because I think there's only one trial there, so I'm going to have to move on to the next one. Yeah. Anyway, we'll
Surf
get...
or boats?
What did you say?
Surf or boats? I guess we'll find.
I have no idea. At some point I thought I saw something about riding a Lapras.
Nice.
So, that might
I'm
be...
not going to say anything.
Alright, Sirmina's not going to say anything. So...
I know the answer to that, but I'm not going to say
That reminds
anything.
me a lot of
Gen 6?
Indigo League.
Oh, Indigo League. I was going to say Gen 6 because you have to ride things all the time in Gen 6. Oh my god. You
The
ride
Rhyhorn, the Pals,
Rhyhorn,
Mamoswine.
Mamoswine.
It's very cute.
It's Mamoswine.
Yes! There's like a
What?
little section where you have to go through a bunch of snow. And, yeah, part of the plot was that Team Flare was trying to mess with an Abomasnow, and, like, this Mamoswine is friends with the Abomasnow, and you can't actually ride the Mamoswine through the snow where you need to go to the next city until you do the plot in...
You do the thing.
And save the Abomasnow.
At which point
There's
he will
useful
give you
things in there, though.
the Abomasnowite.
Yes. I don't have a Snowver in Abomasnow. But it's very... Now, okay. Oh! I have one other thing that I have to mention so far about Gen 6 is there is the introduction of Mega Evolution, but I have not used it at all so far because I have no ites that I am using or I have no Pokemon that have the ite, and I don't know if I'm like missing something or if because of the fact that all the ites are for like Gen 1 through 4
Yep.
Pokemon, and I can't. I self-imposed. I'm only going to use Gen 6, so there's nothing on like Gen 6 Pokemon that I can remember that have Megas. So I'm not using Mega Evolution whatsoever because I decided to do Gen 6 Pokemon only. I could have done the Blastoise site because I have the Squirtle turn into Wartortle, and I used the early game before I had the possibility of getting something else, but I did not. And that would have been my option.
You're doing the Piers challenge from Sword and Shield, where he never.
Oh yeah, no Dynamax.
Yeah, no Dynamax.
I guess
you're not Mega.
Yeah.
I think that legacy carries into Dynamaxing a little bit, and we'll see like what happens with Sun and Moon, because I know there's Z powers, but I haven't used one yet. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Cam, you got really blurry there for a second. But it's strangely unpredictable what Pokemon are going to be able to Dynamax or Gigantamax, and which ones are not.
Oh, no. I figured out that they made it pretty clear. They put like the X, that like red or blue X or Y next to the ones that can Gigantamax. Yeah.
I mean,
that was it.
Yeah.
Because everything can Dynamax.
I think there's a little too much sort of that you have to decode around Dynamaxing for me, personally. I like when it's a symbol somewhere in the menus, I'm kind of like, okay.
It's next to their name.
Yeah, that's fair. But it definitely is confusing in Gen 6 because you're like, okay, what? Also, you have to go find the stones unless you happen to have them. Like, I had to go to this, like, hidden bay to find the Ampharocyte to be able to Mega Evolve Ampharos. And then, of course, I had to go get a Mareep, which you can only get in a Horde with a 2/5 chance when you're using honey in a certain field and root whatever. Yeah.
People figure these things out.
I don't know, but I'm glad that they put it on the internet.
Yeah. When there were no guides, someone was like, I'm going to go stand over in this area and use this thing and wait.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, X and Y, relatively recent games. They came out after we graduated high school, and like Sun, Moon, Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, even more recent. Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon actually came out after I moved here. Well, not to this building, but I've been living in Baltimore longer than Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon have been out. You too, Cam.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy because it's, I don't know, it put it in perspective for me because I didn't really think about Pokemon games a whole lot before the Switch came out because I was like, well, I'm not going to go buy a 3DS.
That's fair.
But that one actually was appealing enough for me to commit to and get into Sword and Shield, which of course also are like really recent games.
Oh yeah, I remember when they came out, I had coworkers who were like, I've never played that Pokemon game, but like they made it look so cool, like I'm gonna get it for Switch.
Yeah.
And I was the opposite. I was like, I feel like I've fallen off of the train after so many years, and I didn't get it when everybody else did, and then until last summer, of course. So.
It's kind of funny because after many years of being very anti-console, my parents. Because the only reason I had a Wii growing up was because my grandparents sent it for Christmas and didn't tell my parents. And everything else was mostly like, well, I mean, Cam, you know my video game history, it's mostly PC. and my brother and I actually bought each other Xboxes to get that. But the one console that my parents did get me was the Switch. So, yeah, redemption arc. But also, it's cool because I feel like it's the most, I don't know, I've gotten a lot of use out of it, but also it's really easy to, when you have people over, be like, let's play this game. Like, not just me, but like, let's all do this and make it a social thing in addition to being like a, yeah.
It's very useful.
Last time Cam was over, we just sat on the couch, played Smash Brothers for like 3 hours. It was great.
Oh man. And Smash like defined like most of my high school years. All the kids in my neighborhood played it. A bunch of my friends at high school played it at the time, and it was just like that. Whenever we would get together, we would always play Smash.
Cam, would Sirmina kick our ass at Smash?
Yes.
Because then I went to college, and I actually, several hallmates had a desire to play Smash, but they played it at like absurd hours of the night, and you would hear them at like 3 a.m. and I'd be like, I just want to fucking sleep. And then I kind of lost my love for it because I associated it with that, and then I haven't played it since. So you guys would kick my ass. Long story short.
I don't know about that.
I think you would
if you ban Link, I'm screwed.
Nah. Peach, baby! Wii Fit Trainer, baby!
Oh my god, the Wii Fit Trainer. Cam, I forgot about that. Oh my god.
Wow.
It's very speedy. Very speedy.
Wii Fit Trainer just like walks in the map and you die.
Yeah. You get hyper beamed, right? With the Wii U Trainer?
Maybe, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, when Ultimate came out, I flocked to Wii Fit Trainer and Rosalie. I really like the two of them.
So what I'm hearing is that we need to do a Smash tournament.
Huh. If you wanna like win, yeah.
Not over Wi-Fi.
No, not on Wi-Fi. That was awful.
That was bad.
You'd probably see the game every 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It's just so laggy. It's awful.
I don't know. Maybe we can play it soon. Find a way to play it soon.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's about all I got. Something that's really cool about July. In addition to the fact that one of these weeks we are actually going to get you guys tier lists, and that's going to be really cool. Something that's really cool about July is that we are back in one generation.
Yeah.
Because we're all playing Gen 7.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited by that. We're all going to be playing with the same kind of Pokemon. Yay. I'm doing kind of a... What? Unenthusiastic yay. Yay.
Enthused.
Yeah. No, but I actually think it's really cool because it was kind of disorienting to be like 1 foot in Gen 5, 1 foot in Gen 6 all the time, like trying to keep track of, okay, what's the plots, and there's black and white, and then there's black 2 and white 2, and then there's also X and Y that we're also like kind of doing at the same time. So,
well, up until Friday, we had 3 gens going at the same time.
Yeah, we did. That's... Yeah. Wow. Cool. Multitasking.
Yay.
Yep.
Yay. But I'm psyched to be able to be like, okay, we're on the same page, we got the same starters, we have kind of, I don't know, we'll see if we have the same challenges, but we might even have some of the same characters, like Kukui, I think, is the Pokemon prof for this generation. Yeah. So that'll be...
Kukui is the same, I think, in Gen 1,
in Sun and Moon and Ultra. Yeah. And then, of course, I'm going to be kind of like hopefully sprinting my way through this game a little bit because I need to finish in kind of mid-July. And then then I take kind of a long break and come back with Sword sometime in August. And meanwhile, we have Sirmina going straight through Moon, Ultra Moon, and Cam's going from Sun to Shield.
glad that I've beaten Shield at this point.
You know what to expect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
You guys are gonna know what to expect for once. Oh my
it's
god!
the first time going into a game being like,
I know what's gonna happen here.
Yeah, since Gen 1. Like,
Mhm.
I finally know.
So it's cool because we've mentioned this a couple times before. I think we're like, Sirmina knows the stories of the games. I think at least at the beginning, knew them the best out of all three of us. Cam had let's see, can I point the right way? Nope. Cam had a very good working understanding of like the different Pokemon from Go, and I was just like winging it because I had actually never finished a Pokemon game like all the way through except for Sword before we started. Because I finished Sword, but I didn't finish all the other parts of Sword.
So you did the VPP style.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So I had finished Sword, but I had like none of these games I had touched, and now I've touched all 8 generations. I haven't finished Gen 7 yet, but yeah.
I've officially at least like played one game per generation.
Yeah. Which is really cool because now if someone asks me what's my favorite generation, I feel like in a couple weeks I'll be able to answer. Like with actual, I tried them all. Here's what I think.
I have to play X and Y. X or Y. Because I have no idea any of the Gen 6 Pokemon, really.
You can skip, it's okay.
But I want to play something from every generation.
It's worth a run, right? It's worth a run.
Yeah, it's worth a run. You get to understand the origins of Mega Evolution. You do get to learn some of those, like, 70 or so new Pokemon that they introduced in Gen 6.
And new moves.
And new moves.
Yes.
And I would get to experience Lumio City in all its grandeur.
Yeah, and if you can survive that experience, you should be good.
You'll be fine.
Sirmina, I have a strong prediction that your opinions of Gen 6 are going to shift this week.
Okay.
This week.
Okay.
This
Alright.
week. And I
Let's
hope
see.
that my opinions of Gen 7 will also shift this week.
Too many cutscenes.
Too many cutscenes. What was that video? Too many cooks?
Yes.
Yeah. That's how I feel about the Gen 7 cutscenes so far. And Gen 6, it's like not enough plot, but boy, are they gonna fix that.
Great.
Yeah. So, that's kind of where we're at right now. Another couple months of... we're in the last 2 months of the originals.
Yep.
And then we start remakes.
I'm
And
so hyped.
when we're done with remakes, there's going to be a new Pokemon game out. Which is very exciting.
Wait, when we're done with remakes. I was like, done with originals. What?
No.
We
We're almost
already
done.
know.
What's that?
We know who's doing what remakes.
We do. Because I think if we talked about this, and maybe we didn't talk about it on stream, but we're basically all reprising our
Yep.
our original plays. So
Well, me and Peter are. And then Cam, you get free round because
No,
you get
I'm
platinum.
doing Heart Gold and Alpha Sapphire.
right, we're all taking
Oh.
yeah. No, I see
I
what
was
you're saying.
thinking
For Gen
about
1,
what?
you're right. For Gen 1,
Move
you're right.
forward to Diamond and Pearl.
I just went straight there. I didn't even think about Gens 1, 2, and 3 remakes. I just went straight to what Gen 4 is going to look like. Because
You really want that for it to stop having to walk up that damn escalator.
we really do. That's all we want.
That's
But yeah,
all.
sorry. Continue, Peter. Go ahead.
No, so all I was saying was for these remakes, we're actually all reprising our original games. So, for example, in Gen 1, I played Red. So when it comes to the remakes of Gen 1, I'm going to be playing Fire Red. And this one's a little weird, but Sirmina played Blue in Gen 1, and now I'll be playing Leaf Green, which is basically the Blue remake in the Gen 1 remake. So that will, I think, if I remember correctly, that continues all the way through, because we have, I'm doing Red, and then I'm doing
Silver.
Soul Silver,
I promise you.
Sirmina
like,
promises
we'll
me
go
is
hardcore.
good.
I promise you guys.
So hoping.
I promise you.
Cam's,
They're not going to fix the leveling as much as you want it to, but I
That's
promise
okay.
you they will make up for it in very
People
many
say
other
that.
ways.
Yeah.
Cam's,
I've read the reviews of people saying Heart Gold and Soul Silver are fantastic.
There's a reason it's still like $40, even if you find it used in like a GameStop.
fair enough.
It's great.
Cam's doing Heart Gold, and then
Alpha Sapphire.
Alpha Sapphire, which leaves Sirmina doing Leaf Green, and then Omega Ruby.
Yes.
And that brings us to November, December, and by then,
Yeah, so November, December, I think we're talking a little bit about this. We haven't totally settled this. We might try to get some Let's Go action on the channel for the first half of November. When the Gen 4 remix drop, we're switching over to Sinnoh remix, and we're going to do a little bit of Brilliant Diamond, a little bit of Shining Pearl. Through the rest of November, probably into December. Kind of depends on how much content Game Freak gives us. And if we want to, we can always double back in the end of December, finish up the Let's Go's. But we'll see what we have time for, how everybody's actual end-of-year schedules are looking instead of the end-of-year July. And
we should do a Pokemon Go. We should do a Pokemon Go playthrough.
God.
I mean, you can just...
Oh God.
I can just do that since I still have
40.
all the beginner quests on my thing. So, there you go.
I have a Drowsy for you if you need one.
I have a Drowsy. No, you gave me a Drowsy.
You need more candies.
I need more candies. That's right.
I'm walking my Scyther. I've collected like 10 candies by walking because I need to evolve something. I can't find Scythers.
Anyway, we've been on for a while, so I feel like Let's Go's out.
I think that works.
Sure.
If anybody's got more to say it now or forever hold your peace.
Nope, just gonna be an interesting July, you guys.
Cam heard the wedding reference.
Very interesting.
You know.
Anyway, if you're watching, check out my stream. I don't know if I'm going to get on tomorrow because some parties have declared it International Fyrestorm Day. But I will certainly bring you some more cutscene content later this week. And we will return to you all next Sunday to give you a weekly Sunday update on how things are going. Hopefully we'll see some Gen 6, Gen 7 content from these guys. And until then, hope you all have a fantastic week, and see you next time on VPP. Bye-bye. Let me mute us.